And they begin. And then you ask them to come to church. And this is the way they do it. Yes, Father, I will. They park behind the church, so as soon as the 10 o'clock comes, or quarter 10, when the child is dismissed from Cisadey, boom, in the car, off they go home. And there is no relationship. There is no build. They are teaching them about Mass in the classroom. They never experience home at dinner, and they are not exposed to the church. After the child is coming to the First Communion, they will begin calling, when is First Communion? Father, how long will it take? Because we have a reservation at the restaurant. It is always a party. It's always a party. After First Communion, you can say goodbye to that child and to that family, and you see them again knocking at your door when their child is 7 or 8 grade. They want to be confirmed. It's like, let us take a swift, course here. And then all of a sudden they ask about confirmation. They are mad at the bishop because he does not give us a date, because they already have reservation for confirmation at the restaurant. And after that, goodbye. You don't see them again. How can you build the church of tomorrow? Do you remember when you were young? When your parents took you to church? When your parents, when they have a little time on their hands, they teach the prayers? When you are doing your homework, or when you need your mother recite the prayers, recite the things behind you, before you and you receive them? Do you remember when we used to bring our children to our novenas, and to our missions, and to other things that have the church, the festival? What happened today? We don't need God because we have the computer. We don't need God because now it is not fashion to go to church. We don't need God because I have strength, I have money, I don't need that mind, what is called, they really bother your mind with these things and brainwash you. And then all of a sudden, without God, things begin to happen. After 12 years of education, sometimes even in the Catholic schools, they married at Cape May in one of those, whatever fancy things outside because they don't want to be in church. They have children before marriage. They're addicted to drugs, alcohol. They are lost. They want to find happiness on the weekends, but there is no happiness because the pleasure of the moment will pass. But then, when the reality of life strikes, and that child is against the wall, and he does not know what to do, unfortunately, he has nothing to fall on. Because many times we as parents have allowed that to happen and enabled it to happen because we try to play buddy-buddy with them and even justify them for not going to the CCD and so forth because sports is more important than whatever it is. I always say, by the time they are 18, the ball will be aside. And then what he's going to do? My dear people, this is why we need to focus on the children. Many people say you are very tough when it comes to CCD. Because I want a relationship with the parents. I want to have an interview with the second grader parents. Not to terrify the child, but to meet those parents, and sometimes they need a word of encouragement to come back. To let them know that they are the church. That together we are building, and the benefit of all we do is the child. We need to give the true catechism to those children, not games. We give them the truth. St. Paul did not come to us and began to play games with us, He told us that Jesus was died and Jesus was risen, and in him alone there is salvation. That was his preaching. As he said this morning for those who went to the Corinthians, I preach it to you, the gospel. But I tell you, the most important of them all, of the gospel, is to preach that Jesus died according to Scripture, that he was risen for our justification according to Scripture, and in him alone there is salvation. St. Paul really understands that, and he really made it his own impression in the people he preached. And he told us, whether I preach it or they preach it, you are the one who needs to believe it. Because Jesus is not someone that we preach alone, but he is the one who has given us this great mystery, we call it mystery, to make him known in the world.